Hello and good morning. If you are watching, please let me know if you're on and you can hear me. Today, I'll be speaking on starting with what you have. My name is Atinuke Morenike Adeleke. I'm a business consultant and I help entrepreneurs who are trying to start either their company or to grow it. So if you can hear me, please let me know if you are online, if you are joining this broadcast live, let me know if you can also hear me. Today, like I said, I'll be talking on starting with what you have. Are you a business owner or have you been thinking about starting a business? Or are you working and you're looking for some other source of income? I know that a lot of people, especially here in this part of the world, Nigeria, are looking at earning income from different businesses. Okay, thank you. For those who can hear me, thank you very much and thanks for joining. So you're looking at making extra source of income, you're looking at making money, you're looking at how to double your income. What do you need to do? And you have been thinking, what do I do? I don't have the finances, I don't know what to do. Today I am going to be teaching you in simple terms how you can start with what you have. Now, for a lot of people who want to start business, it is basically because they need extra source of income. For some, it is because you don't even have money. And for some, it is because you are looking at it that my present state right now, I need to do something about my present state. So, depending on what or your reasons for wanting to start a business, if there's been anything holding you back, please listen to what I will be saying today. When you are starting a business, there is little or nothing that can hold you back. I see a lot of people say, oh, finances. Finances has been a major problem for a lot of people. I don't have money to start. I don't have money to start. Today, we are going to be looking at how you can start with what you have. So I've had people say, oh, it is impossible. You can't start a business just like that. You need money to start a business. And so they are being held back. They are looking for millions to start business. They are looking for how they can start big. Not all businesses will start big. Not all businesses will start big. Yes, you may have the finance to start, but when it comes to business, it is not only finance. Finance is not the major thing when it comes to business. You may have money and not even have an idea of what to do. That is the truth. You may have money and you are saying, oh, I have millions, but I don't even have an idea of what to do. I have had people who have come to me and say, look, I have money, but I don't even have an idea of what to do. And I'm sure some of you are saying, and I am here. I have what to do, but I don't even have the money. Now we are not going to let finance stop us. And that is why we are saying start with what you have. Now, in starting with what you have, the first thing you want to look at is, what do I have? When it comes to business, you want to ask yourself, what do I have? So, I've said we should put finances aside. What do you have as a person? You want to make extra source of income. What do you have? You want to earn more money. What do you have? You want to start a business because you don't want to maybe work for someone, or if you're in Lagos like me, you don't want to go through the stress of traffic and everything. And you are thinking, let me start a business. What do you have? Now, you want to start a business. Ask yourself, what is my passion? Let me start with passion. What is my passion? What are the things I like doing? That is what you have. What are the things you love doing? So you like cooking, good, write it down. You like sewing, write it down. You like making hair, Write it down. You like talking. Talking is a passion. Write it down. What are those things you are passionate about? That is where you want to start from. So you want to start a business with what you have first. You need to know what exactly you have. So what are those skills that you have? Do you have digital skills? Do you have selling skills? Whatever skill it is you have. Are you good with graphics? Are you good with designing? What is that skill you have? That is the first thing you want to write down. So please write it down. What do I have? You're starting with what you have. Ask yourself, as a person, what do I have? You see, when I was growing up, one of the things, especially let me start from when I got married. When I moved to Lagos and I saw the stress in Lagos, I knew I wasn't going to work in Lagos. So I started asking myself, Atinke, what do you have? And I knew I could talk very well, so I wrote it down. I have a skill of talking. I can talk from morning till night. But I needed to channel this skill properly. I needed to channel my talking properly. So you see, I wrote speaking. It means I could be a good speaker. It means that I could be a good MC. So I started looking based on the skills that I have. Let me now break it down. What can I do with this skill? So, okay, you may love cooking, but what type of skill do you have based on that cooking? Because you may actually not know how to cook every food. But if you are good at cooking macaroni, then write it down. Cooking, that is your passion. What aspect of that passion are you good at? So what aspect of that cooking are you good at? You see, that is where a lot of people make mistakes when they are starting a business. You want to do everything. You cannot do everything. You must be able to niche down. You must be able to pick one aspect of your passion. So pick one aspect of your passion where your strength lies. That is what you want to do. So you can cook. Okay, what can you cook best? For someone like me, I can cook macaroni very well and pepper soup. So you see, that is the aspect for me. So if you can cook, pick an aspect. Oh, you can make oha soup and pounded yam. Stick with it. All right, so you can write. We have people who are skillful when it comes to writing. So I can write. Now ask yourself, what do I have? When it comes to writing, am I good at editing people's write-up? Or am I good at writing stories? Or am I good at writing content that people love? You must pick where your strength lies in what you have. So the first thing you want to do is, what are you passionate about? Whatever it is you are passionate about, now break it down. That's the second thing. You want to break your passion down. So I see people say, oh, I love dancing. You cannot be good at dancing to everything. What type of dance do you love? Is it the Bata, the Yoruba dancing? Is it salsa? Is it whatever? You must pick where your strength lies. Now, when you have done that, let me tell you this, talking about passion, there are times when it comes to starting with what you have, your passion does not matter. Your passion does not matter at times when it comes to starting with what you have. Now, let me give you an example of myself. Like I said, when I moved to Lagos, I said I knew I wasn't going to work, but I knew I needed to make money, and then I was broke. So I started thinking, what can I do? You must ask yourself, aside from my passion, what can I do? So your passion may not be the only thing that you want to go into if you are starting with what you have. Because your passion, you may say, oh, I have a passion for sewing gown. But like we said, you are starting with what you have. You may not actually have the money to start with sewing a gown. But I'll still explain how you can start that your passion of sewing to you. Now, what are those things that you know you can do, even though it is not your passion? But you know that if I can start with what I have, I can actually start doing this. So for someone like me, I never liked washing clothes. I never liked it. I don't like washing. I don't like ironing. I remember throughout while I was at home, I never helped my dad wash or my mom. They had someone who comes in to wash. My mom loves ironing, but she, even if I want to help her, she'll say, just don't come. So you see, I don't like doing all these things. But when it got to a stage where I needed to pick what to do, starting with what I have, I was broke. There was no money to start. But I knew I needed to start. And I started looking at the different things I could do that would come starting with what I have. Now, for a lot of people, you may say, oh, I don't want to do some certain things because it is not my passion. There are a lot of passionate people who are broke. Let me put it to you that way. There are a lot of people who are doing their passions but are broke. So your passion may not be that thing that you need to start immediately. You may be able to start something, make money, then go ahead to build your passion. So I choose laundry, I choose washing because I had already analyzed the business and I saw that it had money in it, and I knew that I could start with what I have with it. As at when I started my laundry, I started with the soap we had in the house. I started with the iron we had in the house. I did not have anything extra. Normal, most homes have soap, you have iron. And I started with starch of 100 naira. That was what I used to start my laundry business. Later, I got a family that was staying with us to borrow me his own iron. He bought a steam iron and I borrowed it from him. So you see, starting with what you have doesn't necessarily mean starting your passion. No. But if that thing you are thinking of, not necessarily your passion, will bring in money for you, then you can start with it. So I started with my mouth. Remember, I told you I love talking. So I started meeting people in my area, telling them that, oh, I now do laundry. If you want to wash, if you want to iron, you can see me, you can come to the house, you can call me to pick your clothes. So I started using my mouth to talk, announcing my business. The first cloth I got was 2,400 naira. I still remember it very well. 2,400 naira, and I used soap of 100 naira. I later had to buy nylon of 100 naira to pack it. So you see, 2,400, take away 200 naira. I used my energy. That is starting from what you have, starting with what you have. Now, when you do that, you know, like I said, it may not be your passion, and at the same time, it could be your passion. Business is not an easy thing, and I usually like to tell people that. And especially when you are starting with what you have. Even when you start with money, business is not easy. Now you are starting with nothing at all. You are starting like from a ground zero. There would be nothing. The starting may be difficult. It may be rough. It may be hard. In fact, it may not be. It will be, because you are actually starting with nothing. Now, what you want to do is this. What is your why? What is your why? Yes, thank you. A lot of us we keep giving excuses. So this time, no more excuse. You don't, after this session, you don't have any excuse not to start your business. You will not have that excuse. So you want to ask yourself, why? What is my reason? Because it is your reason for starting that will keep you going. You must have a why. Why am I doing this business? You see, you know, I told you are starting with what you have. When I started, I did not like washing. I hated it. My fingers, if I wash, I used to have weak flow. So I never liked washing. I could soak clothes for 5 days. I will pour out the water, add the fresh water. My uncles will be the one to help me wash my jeans then. But you see, when I needed to start, I needed a why. So what is your why? What is your reason for doing what you are doing? That is what will sustain this you're starting with what you have. So I looked at my reasons. There was no money. I was broke. I had never been in that stage before. I have never been in a stage of not having 10 naira, not having 100 naira before. I used to be a banker before I got married. I was working with a construction company later. I had money. But when I moved to Lagos, I became broke. I was out of job. I had a new baby. I did CS. So you see, I would be betting my daughter. I remember then I used to take Gary. Maybe I'll take Gary in the morning, then wait until in the night to eat. So it was a reason for me. I'll be betting my daughter, I'll be crying. And I'll say, God, I don't want to raise this child in this type of situation. I don't want to raise her in this type of condition. I need my situation to change. So you see, despite the fact that I did not like the business I was doing, my wife was pushing me to succeed. I just knew I have to succeed in this business. Do you understand it? I knew I had to succeed in this business. So if you look at your why, no matter what people say, so that business you are starting with what you have does not necessarily have to be a business that you break the bank. It may be a business that you need to start low. But do you know what? If you see your why will keep pushing you to move forward. Your why will keep pushing you to succeed. By the time you succeed, you can use that money to move into your passion. There's a lady I helped to start a food business, a restaurant. You know, I said start with what you have. As at when I met her, I was into network marketing and she registered to be a member of my group. So I went to her house. When I got to her house, I was supposed to take her around to show her how the business was being done. But when I got to her house and we started talking, I discovered she was a widow and she had 3 kids she was taking care of. I told her, I'm a plain person. I said, Madam, this network marketing business is not for you because network marketing, you must grow in it. And you have kids, you have responsibility. You're already telling me your landlord is telling you to move out in the next 6 months. And he has tried, he has given you 2 years after your husband died without asking for rent. What do you have? What can you do? That was what I asked her. What can you do? And she said, oh, she used to have a restaurant before her husband died, that she still has some of her things there because it's the same landlord. He has not told her to move out. So I said, okay, let's go to your shop, madam. And we got there. I saw that she had pots, she had chairs that were covered in dust, and she had tables. And I said, oh, madam, you have these things. Why are you then looking for network marketing work? She said, oh, I don't have the finance. The lady that was supposed to help me, her husband is trying to sleep with me so that before helping me. I said, no, we are not doing that. This is what we are going to do. What do you want to start cooking? Because I looked at her environment. Where she was, there is a company there. And I know that company staff want to eat. So I said, okay, ma, this is what we will do. What do you want to start cooking? She said, breakfast, maybe rice, afternoon, Gary. I said, okay, this is what we'll do, ma. That your friend, go and meet her again, beg her. Tell her she should not let her husband know because she doesn't want to tell her that this is what her husband has been asking from her. I said, beg her, just 1 derica or 2 derica of rice. Let her give you vegetable oil in bottle. And she said, okay, no problem. She got that. I looked ahead. I saw this Hausa people that sell tomatoes. I speak Hausa very well. I went to meet the man. Malam, can you be giving this woman tomatoes, 500? In the evening, she'll be paying you back tomatoes and pepper. The man said, no problem. While we were talking, these people who sell meat, carrying it around, hawking meat, the man walked by. I said, sir, please come. And I spoke Yoruba to him. She has a restaurant. Can you be giving her meat, 2,000? In the evening, you come and collect your money. He said, yes. You need to look around you. What is that thing you have? You need to look around you. You will be surprised that some of you are sitting inside money and you don't know there's money around you. Same way, I never thought there was money in laundry. Same way, I sat down and looked at my environment and I said, oh, this local environment where I stay, do people give dry cleaners clothes? It was when I started making 100,000, 150, 200 per month that I discovered that, wow, people really give dry cleaners clothes. So don't let your environment stop you. What do you have? What do you have? Ask yourself, what do I have? What is that thing that I have? What can I do with it? Do you know that woman, when she started the restaurant, The following week, like she started, let's say on Monday, by Friday when I went to visit her, I was helping her to wash plates because she had crowd. People were coming. After then, I couldn't go again. I went after a month. By the time I got there, she had gone to bring her sister from the village. She was making mad money. Couple of weeks ago, I passed through her area. She's still there. This is her 4th year. This is her 4th year of starting that business. She is still there. She's getting bigger, selling food. What do you have in your hand? What do you have? What do you have? Don't sit down complaining, saying, oh, I don't have money. I don't have this. My uncle is not helping me. My sister is not helping you. They are not entitled to help you. It is if they want to. You need to stand up and tell yourself, what do I have? Don't be held back. No, don't be held back by your location. Let your mind see the possibilities in what seems impossible. So open your mind. Resist the urge to remain in one place. Resist it. So ask yourself, I can make hair. You can make hair in your area. Fine. Now you need to sit down to plan. How do I make this hair? Do I want to be making hair for kids, or do I want to be making hair for people around, for adults? Bring it down. Who are those you want to service? Who are your customers? You must know who your customers are. Once you know what you have in your hand, you also want to know who are my customers. So ask yourself, I now know what I have in my hand. Who are my customers? So you want to start asking yourself, who are my customers? Who are those that I serve? Once you know who your customers are, it also becomes easy for you. So it becomes easy for you once you know who your customers are. Oh, so I want to start serving, maybe I want to start making hair for those who are office people. You know, those who go to the office, they don't have time. So maybe weekends, I want to go and be doing home service for them. You can decide that is what you want to do. Remember the woman with the jar of oil? She didn't know she had that. Elisha opened her eyes. She went to meet Elisha. Oh, these people are coming for my son. They want to take him. What do I do? And Elisha said, what do you have in your hands? What do you have in your hand? So I'm also asking you, what do you have in your hands? You know, with what she had in her hand, just a jar of oil, Elisha multiplied it for her. When they say multiplied, it is not as if he gave her more. But when you think of it, in multiplying it for her, something must have happened. So what do you also have in your hand? Start thinking, how do I multiply it? You need to start now. Now. If you are broke and you are looking at me, if you are earning money and your income is not enough, you don't need to start thinking and wishing. You must start thinking. What you need to think now is, what do I do? So when things go wrong, when you are broke, it is not a time to sink. No, it is not a time to sink. A lot of us, we get depressed when we feel, oh, I am broke. Yes, it is natural. It is natural, but please do not sink. It is time to think. Start thinking. What are those things? You see, those things that to you are of no value, to others are of value. So start thinking. Start selling. You must start selling. So when you discover that thing you have in your hand, look for how you want to sell it. How do I get people to buy this from me? So I have a lady who used to follow me around, but she'll say, oh, that she cannot kill herself because she can't talk the way I talk. Two people are not the same. But you know, one day she told me she wants to start making akara. And I'm like, what type of akara? She said, oh, there's this particular type of akara that she used to do when she was in Lautech, Ogbomoso, that she'll make it, she'll bring it, let me see. You know, she did this dry akara. It's different from the akara they call akara Ogbomoso. Her own is tasty, crunchy. When eating it, you will feel you are eating the normal wet beans akara. She did it, it was so nice. And I told her, you know how to do this. And you are roaming around the street complaining there's no money. So please, think. What is that thing you know how to do? What is that thing I know how to do? Start asking yourself, so I can do this, I can do that. Write it down. Go and get a book. Write it down and start thinking, what do I need to do? Start with what you have. Dare to dream, dare to dream. Please keep dreaming. Your dreams are viable. Your dreams are viable. All you need to do is to take action. So decide today to take action with what you have in your hands. So let me stop right now. If you have questions, I'd love to take questions. If you have any question you want to ask, please drop your question so that I can take it in the next few minutes. So drop your questions if you have any. Whatever, like I said, it is you have in your hands, please don't downplay it. Don't don't say, I only know how to weave. I only know how to do this. That skill that I once met a lady. She knows how to do what's this now? Bead. During the days of bead, she can do flower vase with bead. She knows how to sew. She knows how to make mosquito repellents. She knows how to make air freshener. She knows how to make liquid soap. But she was broke. Why? Because she doesn't know what she has in her hands. So what you have in your hand may actually be stupid. To you, it may look like worthless, but to others, it is valuable. To others, that thing that you think is worthless before you is what will bring you millions. So I don't know what you are doing. You may look at yourself, but I'm a fashion designer. I need to get machine. If I don't have a machine, there's no way I can sew. And you are saying we should start with what you have. You don't have to have a machine before you can start. If go and meet clients, let them give you clothes. Charge them. Ma, I'm sewing this cloth for you, 7,000 naira. Walk into a shop. We have people who have machines in their shops that they are not using. Go and meet them and say, please ma, I will pay you 1,000. I need to use your machine to sew this cloth. Go and give that person 1,000. Sit with their machine and sew the cloth, deliver to your clients. Pocket your own 5,000. If 5,000 is your profit, pocket it. From your 5,000, save a little, spend a little. Then another client gives you cloth again. You go and meet that same woman. Madam, please, I want to use your machine again today. Let me give you 1,000. You give her 1,000 again. You use her machine. So can you see? It is not until you buy a sewing machine before you can sew. What you need to do is to start getting clients. Start getting clients. Let them pay you. Collect your money. Then you can move to the person that has and get it from them. Just pay them some change after you must have. So anytime you are billing your clients, make sure they pay you. Tell them, can you pay me 50% at the end of the job? They get their cloth, you get your balance. From the 50% you are paid, take some money and pay whosoever you want to use his or her machine. And that is what I did when I started. I tell my clients, ma, your